for human intelligence, and I teach people how to think, right? How to think better critically, how to think better creatively, and how to think better collaboratively. And I'm really pleased to be able to do this session with my new friend, Becky.
Becky Fraser. I am a leadership and development coach, and I started my coaching practice, Focus for Growth, in 2015. And so I actually coined the term introverted skeptic a couple of years ago and have been kind of developing some ideas and perspectives around that. And so excited to talk to you about that with Dan here today. So positive skepticism has a tendency toward problem solving, generating ideas and solutions, things along that line. So at a really high level, that's sort of where I define the introvert and the skeptic. And as you combine those two traits together, some really interesting things happen, especially when you mix it with
For the introverted skeptic, in the end, it takes time, right? It takes time to work through that line of thinking to come to a conclusion, right? To sort through that initial response that, well, this person it behaves this way because they are this type of person, and actually get to the place that you need. And time just isn't something that we have a lot of in the world that we live in. So, Becky, I'm curious in your
anyone can ever give to us, and so it becomes this question of what else am I in addition to these one or two characteristics, and how does the rest of my personality kind of tie into these pieces? That to me is what's really interesting about people and how they think about problems and how they solve them.
Thinking about the fact that probably the number one thing that you can do to help yourself is to practice saying, I don't know yet, right? That we tend to, like, the worst case scenario meeting for me was when the boss would call an impromptu meeting and it's about some important subject. And now the boss will lay out, like, here's what we're doing, here's the problem that we need to face. And now people just start shouting ideas out. And in order to be a contributing member of that team, I want to be skeptical of what other people are saying, not in a derogatory way, but just to understand what assumptions are they making about the problem. But if I'm thinking about what they're saying, I'm not putting enough thought myself into what I actually understand and what I believe about something. So now, as you get near the end of the meeting, people need to start acting, and maybe the boss turns to me and says, "All right, so what do you think?" And like, I honestly, I don't know yet. I have no idea what I think yet, because I need the time to digest everything that I've heard, and now I can come back to you in a little bit with something that's more well-formed. But simply one saying I don't know isn't something that's typically valued in our culture, right? It's something that's people often see as a sign of weakness. But if you want to know what you think as an introverted skeptic, you need to take that time to be able to consolidate your thoughts and offer them up. Are talking, we're on screen together, and one of the things I noticed was that when I was talking to you, I was not getting any feedback back, right? That you were interpreting the words that I was saying, and you were trying to decide what you thought about them. And you were not yet ready to either give me a positive nod or any type of reaction that I would typically expect from lots of other people. But because we're having a conversation about introversion, like, I knew that this was your way of thinking, right? That you were thinking about what I was saying, and that you were giving me the gift of attention rather than just a response that you were giving there. So if you are working with other people that are identifying as introverts, like, giving them the space to have a blank face is not bad, right? Giving them the space to have a blank face allows them to think about what they're saying. And then if you allow pauses in your conversation, then you may be rewarded with hearing what they actually think about it.
Yeah, and just as the second half of that too, just to share with the group, that as Dan told me that, one of the things that I said was, both in my HR career, where I was trying to collect full information before having a perspective that I would share back with a leader or an employee or what have you, I didn't want to signal back to someone in the organization a certain point of view that was not fully formed. And then I'm
right? For an introvert, doing nothing is actually how you get your energy back. So whether it's playing a video game or going for a walk, or maybe it's reading a book, or maybe it's, playing with my dogs, what other people may see as doing nothing is actually allowing me to do something later. And I think that's a different way that you have to sort of look at the world that you live in. Whereas if you're an extrovert and you're getting your energy by being out with other people and doing, as I'm saying it myself, right, doing things, right, that sort of counts in their list of being a responsible human, right? They get the double advantage of getting their energy while they're doing stuff. So I'm in the same boat with you, and